Welcome back to my journey series, you guys. I am a little sicky sick, so pardon the sniffles and the congestion, but nevertheless, we are moving forward into chapter 8 of this growth and development of me becoming a badass in sales and therefore a badass in life. Quick recap on chapter 7, just to bring everybody up to speed. I had the very first pregnancy scare that was like legitimate of my entire life. And it was a come to Jesus moment. And I had debt collectors calling my family members. And so life was quite chaotic. And in spite of all of that though, I was choosing to trust and claim that moment and write the narrative. And that is when I began to tell myself and my life that the things that were happening around me were working out in my favor, no matter what they look like. Relationship wise, my brother and his wife extended an invitation to me to move in with them because they could see how stressed out I was in my relationship. And when my man at the time found out, he had a spike in his behavior, of course, and I ended up feeling really happy, but I was also really aware of like that was a cycle that our relationship just went through, and so I wasn't sure if it was going to last. I was hoping it would, but I wasn't sure if it would. Sales-wise, I had just finished what I called Hell Week on the new offer I was on with my new sales manager. And it is quite rare to find a sales manager on online offers that is willing to invest time into training you and getting you up to KPI. And I was fortunate enough to have a sales manager just like that. And so I was in sales training every single day, going over my calls, honing in on my skills, and that's where we find me, February 11th, 2025. Now, while I'm going through all of this development, I'm not just only going through life, I'm also reading books to try to further expand on my understanding of the development that is happening in my life. So one of the books that I was reading was Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. It's a 3-part series. This was the one that I found most useful. There was a part of that book specifically that really spoke to me and allowed me to understand that I was actually approaching self-development with a severe attachment to the outcome. Here's what I mean.
2 lines in this book that really spoke to me. One was, create a life you don't need to escape from. That one hit me. The other one is, we are not clearing our minds and separating the essential from the inessential for the purpose of a parlor trick. Nor are we improving ourselves so we can get richer or more powerful. We are doing it to live better and be better.
That line specifically, we are doing it to live better and to be better. That really shook me because typically, especially when you're hearing a lot about co-creation, manifestation, inner work online, it's always to acquire something. You know, think positively so that you can live the life of your dreams, so that you can get the dream car, get the dream man, become a millionaire. It's never become better to be better, to embody a better version of yourself. And this helped me realize, the way that I'm approaching self-development is with an agenda. And it really made me start to question how authentic my development had been up until that point, and what it would also look like to go through inner work and to go through self-development without an attachment, without a result, without an outcome in mind. This is what made me start to question myself. Ooh, what a beautiful place to be in, to question yourself, not doubt yourself, not lose trust in yourself, but to start to question things like, what happens if I remove the goal? What happens if I remove, I want to grow to 1 million followers. I want to impact women's lives. I want to do what I'm doing so that I can build a lifestyle brand. Like, what happens if I remove all of that? And the more I started to remove this, the more I realized I didn't need those things. I didn't need those things to keep on wanting to develop myself. And it made me wonder, okay, am I becoming lazy? Like, I can hear the gurus online telling me like, no, you just need to keep going, keep pushing, keep striving, look at your vision board every single day. And I'm like, but do I need a vision board? Like, why do I need a vision board? Why do I need to keep on wanting and staying in this place of want in order to drive me through self-development and through bettering myself? I started to question, like, do I need a result? Do I need to know exactly where this path leads me in order to be led down this path? And I was really concerned about this because I was worried about becoming lazy, becoming idle. I'm like, ooh, if I remove the end goal, will I lose momentum? Will I lose drive? Will other people think that I'm lazy or lost because I'm simply moving forward without a specific goal, without a specific direction? I am simply letting the momentum of me carry me forward. But that was such a conflicting point of view according to the norm of what is out there. And I didn't have a mentor, and I didn't have anyone around me or any books that I could read to guide me through where my mind and where my process and where this unknown was taking me. So it did scare me. It really did. I started to have an actual identity crisis and an existential crisis because I had always moved from this place of hustle. I had always moved from this place of do this so you can get that. And now I am being presented with a whole new way of moving through life. And I'm like frozen, stunned. But here's one thing. A lot of people are afraid of being questioned. A lot of people are afraid of questioning things or questioning their beliefs because it's like, oh, if you question it, that means you don't trust it. No, I decided to question myself so that I could make new choices in life if I needed to start making new choices. And if the way that I am living is meant for me, it will have no problem with me questioning it. Because authentic things don't mind being questioned. Truth doesn't mind being questioned. Lies are triggered by questioning. I was like, you know what? I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to trust myself, and I'm going to trust who I am, and I'm going to trust the direction I'm going down, and I'm going to release my outcome. I'm going to release my results. I'm going to release my goals, and I will trust that what is meant for me will find me. It's kind of like what they say about partners. Like, if you love them, set them free. If they're meant for you, they'll come back to you or they'll stay with you. Same with your goals, same with your beliefs. And so for me, this also made me feel like I was being submerged into an even darker place of the unknown that I was in, but not in a scary or depressive or sad way of like unknown and darkness and submergence. It was simply because I had never been in that place before. And I didn't know what it was going to mean for me to be in that place. And I had no one to guide me through it besides me, my process, and this unknown that was around me. It was almost like being in a womb, not necessarily like in a dark closet surrounded by monsters, but more like in a place where I knew I was going to grow and develop if I could simply surrender and trust that environment. And so here's what I said.
I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. And I'm going to seek guidance within myself and get to know this new unknown that I've been gifted within me. I'm still going to make money because I have this amazing offer and the team, and they're investing in me. Has his offer. So we have money. Now is a really great time to do this exploration.
So obviously I was approaching it with a lot of optimism, which was a choice. It was a conscious choice, and I was choosing very carefully the words that I was saying and what I was speaking over my life. Now, it would not be long before I started experiencing what I called attachment withdrawal or control withdrawals. And here is exactly what that looks like.
It's just a lot. It's a lot all at once, and I feel like I can't breathe. And I have nothing to hold on to. I don't even know what the future holds for me. I don't know what tomorrow holds for me. I don't know what these next couple calls hold for me. And I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
So basically, this triggered the fuck out of my nervous system because it was such a deep programming. It was a lifestyle habit that I was now gifted an opportunity to change. It was the exact habit that kept me operating from a place of urgency and scarcity and hustle. I must push. I must be in a state of angst, because if I'm in a state of angst, that means I'm on the right path and I'm earning my results. Now, since I've let go of the result and I've let go of a transactional way of moving through life, my body didn't know anything anymore. It didn't know how to move forward, what it meant to have vision, what it meant to be me. I triggered the hell out of myself. Which was really good. It was really good. Being triggered is a cue that you have pressed a button and you've come across a programming that you now have an opportunity to change. The choice is now yours. It's no longer subconscious. So now that this has come to the surface for you, you get to choose. Do you want to keep living this way, or would you like to consider and introduce a new way of moving forward? I chose to choose a new way of moving forward. And I chose to stay in that state of certainty and surrender, and seeing this as a true, exciting opportunity, as painful and frightening as it was. And on February 11th, this is where, for the first time, I started wishing for a parent. And this was a first for me because at this point in time, neither one of my parents were very involved in my life. And I have older siblings, but they live in California, and my brother was out here, and he's my older sibling. But, you know, it's kind of difficult to go through hard things in life because it's like, yeah, I know that my brother would want me to reach out to him for help and he would want to support me, but he cannot be the one that gets me through this moment. I need to be able to get myself through this moment. And he has his own life. And so it was this really weird situation, and I just wished that I could call my mom. I wish that I could call my dad and have that relationship and that bond with them where I could tell them what's going on and freak out, and then be like, listen to me, hear me, and then be like, yeah, like, I hear you, and you know what? this is when I went through this in my life. Here's how it was for me, and I got on the other side of it. So you're going to be okay. Do you need me to come over to make you some food? Like, let me bring some groceries over for you and let's watch some TV, right? Just like, be that certainty that I needed, but I didn't have them and I couldn't lean on my man at the time. I really was alone going through this transition, and it was very, very, very difficult. Now, on February 13th, I had actually said that I could tell that I had been shifting. And remember last time, I kind of hinted toward the skills I was learning in sales, like authority and frame, were going to start affecting my relationship. Well, it was not too long before they started negatively affecting my relationship. Not that they were bad skills that I was learning, but I was no longer tolerating the treatment that I had previously been tolerating in my relationship. I started learning how to have authority and frame in my relationship and speak up for myself, because now I'm learning my value. Now I'm understanding value, and that just because my partner says something doesn't mean it's the end all be all. I actually have an opinion as well, and I get to voice that opinion, and I get to dictate how things happen in our relationship as well. It's not simply just to make him happy. I get to be happy as well. He needs to be the one that makes me happy too. I'm going to put a little bit of a pin in that and shift over to sales. Sales-wise, I was going through the ringer in sales. Oh my Lord. I had to learn to not take call reviews personally. All of the calls I was taking were via Zoom. They weren't over the phone. So you can see a recording of me talking to another person, and I had my sales manager and my sales trainer watching me. I had to learn not to take that personally. And it was not a personal attack when they were watching me and telling me where I could have improved. It's not personal at all. They're simply trying to get me up to KPI so I can make money, which is great. I should love that, and I should be on that page. But I was raised by quite a toxic mother who watched my every single move. I had zero privacy in my life. If I had privacy, she took that as me lying or hiding things, and there was nothing that I could have ever done right to get her to make her happy. It was quite a toxic childhood that I had. And so now I have these two men watching a recording of me, and they're watching the recording of me with the purpose of finding out what I'm doing wrong. And so these call reviews are triggering me. They are triggering the fuck out of me, which is a good thing, but it feels horrible. It feels horrible. I am getting triggered in so many ways every single day in my life. It is like I am going through a complete detox of my nervous system, where I am now pinpointing so many areas in my subconscious where I have blockages, emotional blockages, energetic blockages, and instead of throwing in the towel, being like, okay, sales is not for me. This must be a sign to me that this isn't meant for me. This feels horrible. I'm going to run away from it. I decided to sit in it. I sat in all of that toxicity as it was oozing out of me, and I decided to be reflective. Why does this trigger me? Why am I taking this personally? Why is it so uncomfortable for me to get my calls reviewed and to have somebody watching me while I'm doing something wrong or in a way that they would want me to do better? And I keep going back to my childhood and basically tying all the loose ends in my entire life. And it's for this exact reason. I didn't know it at the time, but it's for this exact reason why sales was a mirror for me. I got to see every single place where I was still wounded, where I was still oozing with pain and trauma. And I'm so blessed. I feel so blessed that I had the perspective and the fortitude to stick with it, and be reflective and to take it as constructive and to use it in my favor, because it changed me. I don't know if I could have come across another opportunity where something was that reflective for me. It's not about the calls. It is not about the calls, you guys. It's not about the KPI. It's not about the close rate. It's not about the personality type you're on the phone with. It's about you. It is about you. And once you realize that, and once you learn to harness that for your favor, that is when Sales Now can help you become the version of you that you truly want to become. And once that happens, it leads you down a path of creating the life that you truly want to live. Back to the story. So I'm in the thick of it. I am sitting in all of this development. And on February 13th, I had noted that I had taken 33 calls that week and I had made 0 closes. At the time, these were 1 call closes that I was trying to make. I was taking anywhere between 5 to 7 calls a day and closing none of them, which means 5 to 7 times a day, I'm spending 1 hour on a call with a family trying to navigate objections, and I am sucking at it all day, every day. Oh, it is brutal. It is very brutal. At the same time, the attachment withdrawal is now I'm starting to feel it in my body. Here's what I mean.
I am so severely detached, forcing myself to detach from outcomes, from goals, from desires, from the future, and just be in this moment that I'm actually, my body is kind of panicking a little bit. Like I've started feeling like I can't breathe again because I stopped breathing. Like when I'm really stressed, my body does this thing where I'll take a breath in and I'll exhale, and I won't take another breath in. Or I take really shallow breaths. And
basically, whenever I get stressed out, I do this thing where I stop breathing, and it's completely subconscious. I will take a breath in and I will breathe out, and then there's just so much more time in between me taking another breath in that I start to feel throughout the day like I'm out of breath, and I'm like, oh God, why do I feel like I'm out of breath? Like I get that tightness in my chest. And my brain at this time, specifically on February 14th of 2025, the attachment withdrawal started to manifest into thoughts about the negative side of what if. Meaning, I was having thoughts like, what if I have to move in with my brother and I can't reach KPI on this new offer and I get fired? Like, will I be able to get hired on another offer? What if I move out by myself and I can't pay my bills? What if I stay with my partner at the time and he cheats on me again? Like, since I no longer had a destination in mind, like I removed that attachment from the result and the outcome and the vision, my brain was like, oh my God, where are we going? Where is this leading us? It must be leading us to a horrible, horrible place where I end up in a ditch somewhere and my family doesn't love me anymore and they don't even think about me. I'm just not even in their brains anymore. They don't even know who I am. Just like those extreme thoughts, right? And this is what I said at the time.
It's just a lot. It's a lot all at once, and I feel like I can't breathe. And I have nothing to hold on to. I don't even know what the future holds for me. I don't know what tomorrow holds for me. I don't know what these next couple calls hold for me. And I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Obviously, the pressure that I am under is starting to intensify. I, at this time, was 3 weeks into this new offer. The next week would be 4 weeks. And by 4 weeks, I was supposed to be at KPI, which is 30%. And I was at 0%. I had no idea what was going to happen for me and for my future. Based on the present that I could see, and based on the fact that I could no longer even see what the future held for me, I felt like I was in the forge where there is fire, there is pressure, there is, hammering, and it was the most discomfort and panic that I had ever experienced. But the thing is, a forge is productive. That's not where something stays. And the fire and the pressure and the hammering and the molding is a becoming process. And I knew that. Now, even though the pressure and the discomfort is intensifying, this is not even the peak of it or the climax of it.
I don't want to deal with my life. I am so confused, and I don't know what to do, and I can't do it anymore. My heart is attached to all the optimism and afraid of all the unknown that comes with leaving. I have to do that really hard fucking thing. And I suck at this part.